Hello YouTubers, Dylan Olson back here with another drawing video. I know I haven't been posting and making videos for the last couple of days. My hands have been full with other businesses, so I will do my best to try and make more over time before this year ends. Now let's continue by drawing a chibi take on Rapunzel from Disney's Tangled. So get a pencil, get a piece of paper, and start out with what is basically a big, almost an oval shape. It's not perfectly round. It's big and wide. Think of like a watermelon shape. And remember to always draw loose and light at first, because we're not going to use all these lines later on. We're going to erase them later. Then I'm going to put a line across for where the eyes will be. And then right here, we draw kind of a U shape right in the middle. That's where her body will be. And then a stretched out and curved triangle for her dress. Almost like a bell shape. Then we can put these little U shapes here for her feet. Okay, now we got all the basic shapes. Well, actually, we need to draw these little circles here to indicate a piece of her dress. They're these like shoulder pieces, kind of like what Snow White has on her dress. If you watched my video on how to draw Snow White and look at her shoulders, you'll probably know what I'm referring to. So we're going to have one arm on her hip, and then it's almost going to be built like a gingerbread person. Okay, so we got that. Now we're going to draw in her eyes. And her eyes, they are these, in this style of chibi or kawaii, we're going to make them these big black ovals. Just like this. So we're going to get these eyes in. Then we need to give her some eyelashes on both sides. They stick out. Make sure you, and like I say, when you get the lines you want from drawing lightly first, you darken them up with big, bold, black lines, or whatever color pencil you use. And then if you want, you can go ahead and shade those in. Make them black. All right, now that we got her eyebrows, we need to then draw, or actually we need to draw her eyebrows now that we got her eyes. And her eyebrows will simply be these simple, almost teardrop shapes, curved teardrops. So I'm gonna get those eyebrows in. Okay, and then we should give her a smile. Okay, then we should beef up the lines around her head. So I'm gonna darken in these head lines. And now the next thing we need to draw on her is her hair before we get to her body. And if you remember, her hair is really big. It's not short in a bob cut like Snow White or completely tied like Cinderella's or it's not as long as Jasmine's or as long as Ariel's. It's like 7 feet long, if you remember, in the movie. So we're going to start off with this sort of banana shape. It's almost like a banana shape up here. And then we're going to draw another curve up here. Then I'm going to draw another bigger curve here. Then we're going to draw another curve here. Here's this curve here. And then we need to draw a curve that follows this curve up here. That's the other end. And remember, this curves all the way down to her body. You can imagine like the line back here is going this way, if you want. And then right here, you're going to draw a curve that goes like this. It's almost an S curve. And we're going to darken this curve here. And then we need to bring this curve down here to a point that goes like this. Beef up this curve line here. Put a curve around here. Bring this all the way up here. And then you're going to bring this into a just start a curve here that goes into something of a C shape right here. Okay, now that we got her hair and head on her, we need to put her clothes on her. And then, so we start off by beefing these lines right here. Including these lines here. We need to darken her feet, her foot here. We also need to darken in her body, her shoulder pieces. And now we need to darken her arm right here. Here's her sleeve. Darken in her arms here. The sleeve here. And now we need to define her corset. So we'll put this V shape right at the top of her dress. Then we'll draw the top end of her dress here. Put another V shape. Put a middle line right here. She's got kind of a bow tie. Well, it's not really a bow tie. It's kind of like something you would see on a shoe. So you draw this little square with these two little ovals. Or it's almost like an upside down heart shape. Then draw another shape inside them to create the loops. And then right inside these shoulder pieces, you're going to draw these thin lines on the inside. Okay, so that's all the lines. What we can do now is we can take our eraser and get rid of things we don't want in this drawing. Like we got a bunch of them in her dress and in her legs, so let's get rid of all that. There's a lot in her arms, so let's erase those. Erase her arm. Now I'm going to erase her face, middle lines. And then if you have to, you can go back over your lines that you might have erased by accident. And believe me, this often happens when I draw these characters. Okay, that is pretty much Rapunzel. That's the basic drawing of her. Oh, we actually need to get 2 more details. A curve up here. And then there's another curve for the top of her head right here. So let's darken in that. All right, that's all the basic details of Rapunzel. Now let's color her in. You can get some colored pencils. These aren't anything too unique. You can buy them at any art store. You can even get certain brands. Doesn't matter what you use. But either way, let's start with yellow. And we're going to put it on this part of her face, of her hair, actually. And remember to use the side of your pencil because it gives you a better filling on things. If you use the tip, you're going to waste your energy and your time. And that's no fun. If you want to use crayons, that's fine too. Just remember to use the side of that as well. Get the side as well. Just take your time filling everything. We should also get this lower end as well. Any spots in her hair that I'm not coloring right now, we're going to use a darker yellow. We're going to put different shades of yellow in her to make it more interesting. Let's color in this hook. Take your time with it. Okay, that's all the regular yellow. Now we are going to, well, let's just go ahead and color in. Let's color in her eyebrows for now. And they're going to be this tan brown color. Now, let's use this pink and we'll color in maybe her tie. The stripes on her shoulders and the sleeves as well. And now we are going to use purple for the middle line on her dress and on the dress itself. I know I'm not going exactly in the same direction, but this is a drawing. Drawings are supposed to be fun. I mean, you can go in at least one direction, two directions, whatever you want to go. I'm mainly doing this to save time and energy. Okay. Then we can color her skin. Like this part above her shirt, that's gonna be peach, like most human skin colors are. Her hand right here, color her feet. And now we also need to color in her face. Be sure to have a pencil sharpener close by. And be careful around your black lines because they see how they smear. You don't want them to smear, at least not smear too much, otherwise your piece will look ugly. Get around her eyebrows as well. And if you have to, you can probably erase your unwanted smudges and smears. Okay, then we need to color in her dress. I am using a very light shade of purple called Mulberry. So I'm just gonna lightly color that in. whatever shade of purple you decide to use. I guess if you went really lightly with the purple we used for the bottom of her dress, you can use that. But now, as a finishing touch, we need to color in the rest of her hair with a more golden yellow. And I got one. This is the golden yellow I'm using. So I'm gonna lightly color those spots in. So I'm gonna lightly color that all in. Okay, then we need to get this side filled in with some gold. Here's the bottom side as well, under her feet. Shade all that in with gold. And then, with all that gold in, if you want, you can very lightly go, you don't have to do all this, but just very lightly go over the bright yellow that you used. And there you have it. That is Rapunzel. I hope you all enjoyed this. Please make sure to like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.